So Daniel Andrews MP will be flying to Brisbane on a private plane to watch the AFL Grand Final with no quarantine, while the rest of Victoria is in lockdown, where he'll meet up with his wife and kids and bring them home. Hashtag Dictator Dan, hashtag we are all in this together. Okay, a few things about this. If you don't know, Melbourne is the heart of the AFL Football League. The grand final's been played in Melbourne at the MCG for the last 124 years. Never been played outside of Victoria. Thanks to this piece of garbage, the grand final will be played in Brisbane. Not even a football state, to be honest. It's a rugby state, but they're playing it in Brisbane. Not sure how many people will get there. Lucky to be 30,000, I think. I don't know. Don't know how the capacity of the ground, whereas the MCG holds over 100,000. It's a religion. We can't even go and meet with our mates, have a barbecue, get together, watch it. Can't go down the pub and watch it. We've got to sit at home and watch it. Anyway, I won't be watching it because I haven't watched the game all year. Couldn't give a fuck anymore. But this piece of garbage, Andrews, is flying to Brisbane on a private plane. If you don't know, to get into Queensland, where there's hardly been a, corona bullshit death, the borders between, New South Wales, Brisbane, or anyone coming in from Victoria or anywhere, they need to go in 14 days quarantine. Only a few weeks ago, some poor guy was dying, and I think he was from New South Wales, but he was in Queensland. He couldn't have his children come across to, see him on his last few days. They had to go into quarantine for 14 days. But they had other exceptions for Danny Minogue, from Kylie Minogue fame, and a few others, And one of the idiots there, health minister, whatever, I don't know, said, it's all about money. It's all about money. If we can make money, then it's okay. We can give exemptions. Well, that's how bad it is. That's how bad this bullshit is. But apparently, his wife and kids have been in Brisbane, Queensland, whatever, for quite a while now. He sent them off there, so you don't want to live in fucking Melbourne, Victoria through what he's doing. So he sent his wife and kids to live in good old sunny Queensland, and he's going to bring them back now that the lockdowns are virtually, going to be finished here. But I don't know if that's right. I don't really believe that he's done that, because who's going to dress him? Who's going to dress him up for his bullshit presses every day? To put his shirt, his suit on, or his North whatever bullshit jacket he wears. He surely can't dress himself. So that's why I think, maybe his wife and kids aren't in Brisbane. But anyway. So I just want to say the shit that's going on now, all scripted, all fudged, as I've been saying for the start of this shit. As you know, right now, I don't know what today, but yesterday, the day before, 0 cases, 0 deaths. I'm telling you one thing right now. People in old age care homes are still dying, exactly what they were last week, the week before, the month before, the year before. The old age people are still dying. I don't know the numbers here in Melbourne. There'd be, double figures just about every day. But all of a sudden there's 0. Now, there's no way known that all of a sudden this has just stopped. Just stopped, because it's all fudged. The figures are all fudged because they can't just keep going. You can't keep going with these cases, bullshit, forever and ever. People will start to go nuts. So, as you know, there's a few things happening. There's this bullshit inquiry that he set up, where he attended and others who, all of a sudden had a bad memory loss about all this bullshit quarantine bungling. And that's virtually what everyone's talking about. The bullshit quarantine bungling, where they had to use some shit to bring this second wave into Melbourne, Victoria. They had to bring it from elsewhere, and obviously they used the people coming in off flights, put them into a hotel quarantine, and supposedly they bungled it using untrained security guards instead of untrained ADF. I can't see what the fucking difference is. They're only going to be outside scratching their balls anyway, while people are inside locked away for 14 days. So all the talk is that. It's all a diversion. We've got this idiot chief health officer now being asked to explain why in emails he knew all about this shit, and he denied it in the bullshit inquiry. All scripted to make believe that a virus did spread from there and went to all these nursing homes where all these old people died, and where we got the numbers up, and that's why we've been in lockdown like nowhere else in the world for God knows how long, and still are. And the other thing is, if you notice, we got this treasurer, the federal treasurer, Frydenberg, is that his name? Some Jew, Frydenberg. He's a liberal, and he's actually from Melbourne as well. And he's making out that he's really upset with Andrews not opening up businesses. It's all bullshit. You can see the way he's talking. It's all scripted. It's all acted out. It's pathetic. But they want to give the public the impression that the federal side of things, even though they're liberal, are actually concerned about what's happening in Victoria. Oh, they've waited all this time. Oh, to finally say something. Yeah, right. Scummo, the Prime Minister, has been very quiet through this whole thing. Very, very quiet. He's just left it to the premiers of each state to do their script. Oh, but yeah, Frydenberg really, really gives the stuff about Victoria. It's to make them look like they care. They don't give a fuck. They're behind this fully. It's all an act. But one thing I'm going to tell you now, which is frightening, a lot of people say they hate Andrews, but there's a cult. There's a cult that love him because they think he saved 100,000 lives, But they can say what they like at the start. Like I said, if I said to you the world's going to end in 6 months unless you wear a toilet seat on your head, and then after 6 months, see, told you it worked. The world hasn't ended. And it's because you wore the toilet seat on your head. People will believe that. This is just the same. They made up these bullshit numbers at the start. Wear a mask. Do your anti-social distancing. Wash your hands. Lockdown. You'll be right. So you supposedly saved all these lives from a virus that doesn't exist. So as I said, it's all come to virtually hardly anything happening. Perfectly, we've come out of winter, the flu season. Probably a bit hard to fudge deaths, even though they can still use the old aged. Coming to Christmas, they want to please the people. So what's happened last week, he extended the 5 kilometre limit for us to 25 and a few other shitty things. Opened up hairdressers, whoopie-doo. And he said, well, 2 weeks' time, I might, do some more relaxing. But I'm telling you now, he won't wait 2 weeks. He'll come home from the grand final. I don't know who's going to do the presser for him on Saturday. Or the game's at night, so he might fly over after the presser and come home but just in time for Sunday's show. I'm telling you, whether it's Sunday or I predict Monday, he's virtually going to let us out of everything. Not completely, but he's going to drop a lot of restrictions, go back to phase or stage 1 or stage 2, whatever that shit was. But, you can bet anything, we'll still be wearing masks. They'll be there forever and ever. Mask and social distancing. Why we need social distancing if masks work? Why do we need masks if social distancing works? Why do we need lockdown if they both work? But he's going to give us an early, Christmas present. And all of Victorians are going to forgive him. Not all, but, a lot. And they're going to love him. Thank you, Dad. You've done this fantastically. Your bullshit in his speech. That it's because of him that, there's no more cases or deaths. Everyone will say, what a hero. And now, look how good he is. He's opened everything up for us, just in time for Christmas. They're all going to love this guy. And that's my prediction. They're all going to love him. And they'll forgive all the other pieces of shit that have worked with him, the Suttons, the Makakoses, you name them. All of them clowns. But the thing is, somehow they're going to do something, whether it's in the start of next year, something really bad has to happen to get back to the shit again, so they could sell the vaccine. You can't just all of a sudden now say, oh, everyone take the vaccine when there's no cases and no deaths. People say, stick it. We don't need a vaccine. So obviously, it's going to be a bit of a break. Like they're going to wait till March when the flu season starts again. Is this going to happen every year when a virus or a flu season starts and people start coughing and shit that we're going to go into lockdown? Is this going to be the prerequisite for years to come? Oh, of course, they're talking about other shit, wearing bracelets and all, even coming out the other day. Digital passports, you won't be able to come back in the country if you fly out unless you've been vaccinated. That's what it's all about. We've said that from the start. Nothing to do with the virus. It's all about control. So anyway, there it is. Daniel Andrews will be... He'll have a good seat at the grand final, whereas everyone else has to sit at home with just their families, no friends, and watch it. But like I said, I couldn't give a fuck who wins. So anyway, Melbournians, enjoy your public holiday on Friday. Grand final eve holiday. What the fuck for? There's no parade here in the city. There's no game the next day. Yet we've got a public holiday. That's for those who are actually working. All right, that'll do.